So today's speech is going to be about, should capital punishment be abolished? Um, when's the last time you really thought about it? A lot of people don't consider this a topic, in their mind all the time. And, you know, I'm not advocating one way or another, but I definitely have my opinion. And my opinion is that I think it shouldn't. Um, Going back to the last time I looked into this matter, it was probably for another class. I was doing a paper or something, but it's never really on the top of my mind all the time, and it's definitely something that's in frequent events all the time. Um, so everyone in this room is affected by it. It's something that um, is paid for by taxes, and you all pay taxes, so therefore you're affected. And it's a very, as stated earlier, it's a very current matter. The last um, state to abolish capital punishment was in 2015, so it's an ongoing thing. And the federal government currently has capital punishment as a punishment for crimes committed against the government. So I think that certain crimes should definitely allow this punishment, such as like serial murderers or serial rapers or multi uh, infractions against child molestation, like just a scum of the scum. That I think that should be have that punishable by death. Um, Another reason people that don't think it should be abolished, people think it's an inhumane way of going about business, and they're not necessarily saying that killing's inhumane, but they're saying that um, the way they're killing is inhumane. In that sense, it's just it makes me laugh. Like, how is killing someone humane at all? But anyway, I think that another reason people don't like this topic is it costs. Believe it or not, it costs more to kill somebody than to keep somebody in prison for 40 years. It costs about $740,000 to imprison somebody for that time period, as opposed to $1.26 million to kill them. Not really sure why that is. Everywhere I looked, I couldn't get an answer. The only thing I found, it would consist of pre-trial costs, but that fact has to do with the actual cost of killing them. So my solution to this problem, I think we need to come up with a way of finding a cheaper method. I don't think we should abolish it at all, as I stated earlier. So therefore, we need to make it cheaper, and we need to make it an easier way. Part of the reason it's so expensive is because people that are on death row are in solitary confinement. So they're in a cell by themselves for 23 hours a day, and they get an hour to pretty much eat and walk the yard by themselves. So you're paying for more guards and you're paying for more cells, and it's just expensive, I guess. But if you move that to general population, and then you could go about with the whole death row, just have them as a regular inmate. As for the issue with having it inhumane, I think people just need to get over themselves. Like, these people, in my opinion, deserve punish the crime is punishable by death. So back to the cost, definitely part of the reason is the average person spends on death row spends about 15 years waiting to be executed, and during that time, through 1973 and 2015, there has been 148 people that have been exonerated and completely let out of jail. So I mean, that's pretty good. You're not killing innocent people, but I think maybe from that 15 years, you subtract 5 years and keep them on death row for 10 years and give them plenty of time to appeal, and if they still can't make a proven point, we execute them. Some people sometimes even wait over 20 years on death row, and by that time, sometimes even the law gets passed to make killing somebody illegal, as in excuse me, as a punishment. Another stat here, in 1984, the average person spent 74 months, which is 6 years on death row. In 2012, they spent 190. That's about 16 years. Unfortunately, there's not many benefits to this topic. I think the main benefit taken away here is being well informed. you should definitely be informed about this topic. As stated earlier, you're all affected by it. You're paying taxes whether you're aware and or not. Um, so it gets overlooked. People just don't like to talk about it, and people think it's a touchy subject. And nobody wants to talk about killing somebody. Um, I urge you to look up some information about capital punishment, some facts, and make your own decision, have your own opinion, and you definitely need to come up with your own basis. I have mine, and I don't want to persuade you to do anything, but the facts aren't really in my favor per se, but I definitely think some of these crimes should be punishable by death, and I don't think as a country there should be outlawed. Another fact that I forgot to mention earlier, there are 31 states plus the United States government and the military that currently have the death penalty in place, and there's 19, including like the District of Columbia, that do not. Again, I want to thank you all for coming and listening to me, and I just ask that you don't judge me. I got some strong opinions here, but thanks again, guys. You just go around again.